Namaskar Shokulke. My name is Borsha Das and I'm an engineering student from the City of Joy, Kolkata, India.
My name is Davis Onyoguzoro and I'm a better Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador from Nigeria.
Assalamu alaikum. I am super excited to talk at Microsoft Student Summit this year. My name is Rizwanur Rahman and I'm the Microsoft MVP on Microsoft 365 development category.
Hi, I am Kundaicha Sinda and I stay in Zimbabwe.
Hello everyone, my name is Krishna Rajakonda. I live in Houston, Texas. I wish you all very best and welcome to Student Summit 2023.
My magical moment is when I share new technology with my clients and they get as excited about it as I do.
My magical moment is when I joined Microsoft Tech Club in my high school and saw my peers learning and innovating together.
I am very excited to connect with students in my community, to learn from them and to help them to learn new technologies.
I am part of the Student Summit to inspire young professionals to become community stars.
The knowledge that's provided and the interest that comes from the new technologists that attend is very inspiring to me.
I'm looking forward for this year's Microsoft Student Summit to connect with other students who share the same goals as me.
I'm so excited about the Student Summit and the things that you all are going to learn and the connections that you're going to make.
Together, let's create a positive impact and be a force for good. Thank you.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Student Summit. Be ready to start and accelerate your career in tech. My name is Michelle Sanford. I am a developer engagement lead with Microsoft. I am interested in helping emerging developers, so that includes students, return to work professionals, career changers, data scientists, and game devs. Basically anyone who is excited about being on that continuous learning journey and learning more every day in tech.
Hi everyone, my name is Lydia. So I'm the Go Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, currently studying at Bachelor Pacific University with a bachelor degree of computer science. My major focus is in deep learning in healthcare. So a big welcome to all of you to join this event.
We're super excited to be your hosts today.
Yeah, so if you are joining us from the watch party, welcome all of you. Make sure you're logged in from your own device so that you can keep an eye on the chat and save the links and resources that we share. So join us by using the link that we have posted in the chat box.
Awesome. So I just want to call your attention to our code of conduct. Basically, the gist of this is you need to be kind and respectful to yourselves and to each other and to us. Everyone here is interested in helping each other and raising each other up. And so try not to be impatient or rude, be kind to each other, be gentle, and then you will not be violating any guidelines. But if you do, then be warned, we will not tolerate that.
So we have heard from many of you that you are excited about networking, technical learning, career advice, and exploring new tech like AI. Today we only have 90 minutes, but we will touch all of these things. You will hear career advice from industry experts and have the time to ask them questions.
And equally important, we're here to help you to continue to learn after the Student Summit. Student Summit is not just a moment in time, it's just a part of the journey. And our goal today is to inspire you. We'll discuss application development, developer tools, low code, no code, fusion development, and AI data and machine learning. And to help clarify the next steps where you can continue learning and skilling on these topics, network with each other, and start to accelerate your career, we're going to be with you for the next 90 minutes. So you can do all of this through Reactors and Microsoft Learn. So In case any of you have not heard of our reactors before, they are our community spaces and they welcome you to learn and connect. You can do some of the stuff online, or if you're lucky enough to be near one of their physical locations, you can visit them as well. So they're a place for industry professionals, that's right, we are talking about you, to come together and explore industry-leading ideas, exciting Microsoft technology, and open source communities. We offer a diverse mix of hands-on workshops, expert panels, and community events, and there's something for everyone. So whether you're looking to start or accelerate your career in tech, we hope that we will see you at a Reactor event and sharing our networking and learning opportunities alongside peers, Microsoft partners, and industry experts.
So Microsoft Learn is a platform where you can learn by doing through hands-on training personalized to your needs at your own pace. You can also access our student summit cloud skills challenges to learn more about the content we are talking about today. The cloud skill challenges are the fun way to compete against others while continuing your learning with Microsoft. You can choose from different challenges to start and accelerate your career in AI, data, and machine learning, as well as application development and developer tools, last but not least, low-code development. In the same time, you can also earn certificates and badges and to showcase your skills like in your resume or social media platforms such as LinkedIn. So you can also find technical documentation and step-by-step guidance to get most out of Microsoft products. So let's experiment today by trying some sample course, test out new capabilities, complete challenges, and earn new certifications. Learn by doing and more.
Have you got any of those certifications, Lydia?
Yes, I got around 6 to 7 certifications.
Me too, that's so cool. I really love doing them. I think it helped me consolidate the knowledge. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with that because I'm able to find my internship is I think most of because of like I got a lot of certification, so it proves that I'm master in AI area, so I'm able to get the position as a AI R&D in the health tech company.
Oh, very cool. I think I got my job as well because of all those certifications. Definitely it helps.
Yes. So also from this link, you can find out all about of our different programs offerings such as Microsoft Learn when you can compete in our Cloud Skill Challenges, Azure for Student, Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Program, and Get Certified, and so much more.
Yeah, so check out the link for all of that and sign up to our post-summit Reactor events in April and May, where there will be talks on OpenAI projects, VS Code tips, and GitHub sessions to get you started and help you work as part of a team.
So this is our today's agenda. So now we are in the event introduction. For today's event, we have 3 sections, which are App Dev and Dev Tools, AI Data Science and Machine Learning, and last but not least, No Code and Low Code. During this session, we will have our speaker to share about their career story, Q&A sections, and also have the snapshot video to show you about the latest new tech and tools.
So don't forget to put your questions in the chat. Oh, shall we do a little quiz to see how everyone's going? You can use this QR code in order to do a quiz, and I think that we will see the results on the screen in a few minutes while you are doing that. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's where joining from. That's a good quiz. I'm coming to you from Perth in Western Australia. Where are you, Lydia?
Yeah, I'm come from Malaysia, Johor.
That's cool. So we're both in the same time zone.
Yes, that's nice.
Oh, there we go. I'm looking over there because I see all of the things coming up on the other screen. There they go. a lot more closer to you, Lydia, than in Australia, it seems. What's
Yeah.
that one right on the other side of the world from the US? So we see about 122 of you currently online, but not everyone has yet done their quizzes, but here they come through. It's exciting. I like that map.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, where are you on your career journey? That's an exciting one too. I don't have my glasses on. I'm really staring at the screen to see those tiny writing.
Sounds to me, it's too small for me.
Mostly university students.
Yeah, I can see it's undergraduate. Yeah, most of them are same like me as an undergraduate students.
There's a couple of career changes there. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
I was just at an event last night for data science week, and there were a few people talking about changing careers, and they were wondering if if industry likes that or hates that. And I said, like everything that you are augments what you bring to your new role. So if you have an existing career and then you go back and study some more and then change career, it's all good. Oh, look at all of those. Look at all of those.
Yeah, we got a lot of computer science and software
Yes.
engineering.
Software engineering. 2 data scientists. Oh,
Yes.
3 business. This is so much fun. I love this.
Yes.
I studied philosophy as my undergraduate degree, but I did a master's in computing science after that.
Why?
Why philosophy or why computing science? Yeah, the philosophy one is a long story, probably not for today. How excited are you to hear about each areas in tech? Oh, I don't know. Which is your favorite one, Lydia?
Yeah, I think mine is probably AI and data science.
I like AI, definitely AI data science. App dev is cool though. The low code stuff, that's cool.
Yeah, low
And
code
yeah,
also
look,
quite
there's 26
interesting.
other. There's a lot of AI in the low code, no code stuff that I like.
Yeah. I was learned about one word, like from my yesterday class. They say that data science is a sexiest job nowadays.
Sexiest job.
Yeah,
I wish I
it's
knew that
definitely on the. Yeah, it's a title for the news. So I said, wow.
Well, I think developer is the sexiest job, but data scientist is pretty hot.
Yeah, for me, data
How
science
much?
is pretty hard because of the statistic. Too difficult to
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah, but in computer science as well, you have to know a lot of maths, and that can be difficult. Difficult for me.
Yeah, true.
Statistics I quite enjoy, like the patterns. I think that's what makes data science interesting, that there are patterns in the data that tell a story. I like that. My favorite quote from statistics was correlation is not causation. I've never forgotten that.
Yeah, for me, kind of difficult for me to find a story from the data.
Yeah, I think it takes time. Okay, so let's head on to our first speaker.
So let's welcome our first speaker, Nicole Natalie Tan. We also can call her NICNAT. She is a digital and application innovation specialist for public sector education at Microsoft. She is a mechatronics engineer turned specialist who puts her problem-solving skill to work and has a strong drive to empower the next generation of students. So let's welcome Nicole.
Welcome, Nicole. Thank you so much, Michelle and Lydia, for the warm introduction. And hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Nathley, but you can call me Nick Nat. I am a digital and application innovation specialist here at Microsoft. Now, I saw from the chat that there's so many people joining from the Philippines, and I wanted to say I am also a Filipino with a slightly tanned skin, black and blonde hair, and today I have my hair bun up, and I'm currently wearing a black top for today's session. So I wanted to go through the pages of the App Ventures Journal with you all. I'll take you on a journey of self-discovery and reinvention where challenges become opportunities and passion turns into purpose. So grab your compass, strap on your backpack, and get ready for an unforgettable journey. This is the App Ventures Journal. So whether you're a curious learner eager to dive into the world of tech, a young professional starting your career, or a seasoned pro looking to stay on the cutting edge, this presentation is for you. So I wanted to start off our presentation with a bit of a brain teaser. Can someone tell me in the comments, what is the diagram you see here on screen? So this diagram was taken from the DevOps Research and Assessment Report. And the J-curve theory refers to the relationship between IT and organizational performance. This essentially states that organizations that adopt DevOps practices and culture initially see a dip in performance represented by the downward slope of the J-curve. However, as DevOps practices become established and refined, performance improves and surpasses that of organizations that have not adopted DevOps, represented by the upward slope of this J-curve. So essentially, the J-curve theory suggests that organizations that invest in DevOps will eventually see better results than those that do not, but that this improvement takes time and effort to achieve. And the report argues that DevOps practices and culture can help organizations to achieve better outcomes in areas such as lead time, mean time to recover, and change success rate, among others. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're sitting there with your hand on your chin, trying to figure out why in the world are we discussing the J-curve theory? So the relevance of the J-curve life can be seen in the analogy to its academic and career journey, which explains the dip in performance or progress that often occurs during a period of learning or transition. It suggests that when we take on a new challenge or begin a new phase in our academic or career journey, our initial performance may decline before eventually improving and surpassing our previous level of achievement. And this applies in a few different ways. For example, when we begin a new academic program or job, we are often faced with a steep learning curve. It can take time to adjust to the new environment, learn new skills, and adjust and understand new expectations. During this initial period, our performance may dip as we adjust to the new demands. Now, when we move up to a higher level of study or take on a more advanced role at work, we may experience a similar dip in performance as we adjust to the increased expectations and demands. And when we decide to switch careers or industries, we may need to learn new skills and adjust to a new work culture. And this can result in a dip in performance as we get up to speed in the new field. Overall, the J-curve theory suggests that setbacks and dips in performance are a natural part of the learning process. It's important to stay committed and persistent during these periods and to remember that they are temporary. With time and effort, we can eventually overcome these challenges and reach new heights of achievement. So the story of my academic and career journey reflects the J-curve theory. When I first moved to Australia, I faced challenges such as adapting to a new culture and language barrier. Similarly, when I transitioned from civil engineering to mechatronics engineering, I had to adjust to a new field of study. As I pursued different jobs and internships, I faced setbacks and challenges, but I approached them as opportunities for growth. I eventually found a role that aligned with my values and interests. But I still had to work hard to gain the necessary qualifications and certifications. By continuing to learn and improve my skills, I was eventually able to land a position at Microsoft. So my journey at Microsoft began with my journey at Microsoft began as a product advisor where I sold Microsoft Surface products. Unfortunately, due to COVID 19, our roles were made redundant, and I had to quickly pivot to a new role. As a customer success trainer, I delivered curated training content to Asia Pacific customers on Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365, and Power Platform. As I continued to explore the Microsoft stack, I became increasingly curious and decided to pursue the Azure Fundamentals certification, which taught me about cloud computing concepts, core Azure services like compute and networking, and most importantly, governance. A few months later, I applied for the Microsoft Graduate Program, which is also known as the Aspire Program. And I was thrilled to receive an offer to join the Microsoft consulting team as a data and AI technical consultant. With almost 6 months before I started, I took advantage of the time to pursue further certifications in the fundamentals of data and AI. When I onboarded to my new role, I quickly realized that my fellow grads had impressive backgrounds with double degrees from well-known universities in Australia and significant work experience. Though I felt insecure about my engineering background, I found a solution by partnering with Cheng Wang, another grad, as my accountability buddy. Together, we challenged each other to work on timely Azure certifications related to the topics we were learning during our onboarding. For instance, when we received training on identity and access management, we continued learning outside of work hours and gave ourselves a week or two to test our knowledge by sitting through the exam. Over time, I was able to master the security, administrator, and DevOps certifications. And we eventually went our separate ways to focus on our area of specialty. However, unfortunately, my role was once again made redundant, which prompted me to rethink my next steps. During this time, I noticed that there were roles for data and AI, innovation, and security. With only 4 weeks to prepare, I decided to pursue certifications in Azure Solutions Architect and Security Operations. Given my familiarity with multiple solution areas on Azure, I applied for various roles across different focus areas. However, many of these positions required several years of experience. And even though I work at Microsoft, there was no guarantee that I would be selected. Fortunately, one hiring manager was willing to take a chance on a recent graduate like myself. Andrew Cobb, our Azure CTO, has been passionate about empowering early career professionals. And I'm grateful that he gave me the opportunity to join his team as a digital and application innovation specialist. So my journey has been nothing short of exciting and challenging. And fortunately, I was able to leverage the certifications I took for my current role. With the Azure Administrator certification, I have gained expertise in managing Azure subscriptions and resources, implementing and managing storage solutions, configuring and managing virtual networks, and managing identities. All this has enabled me to effectively manage and monitor Azure resources for my clients, ensuring their applications run smoothly and efficiently. The Azure DevOps certification has been a game changer for me in terms of managing the software development lifecycle of my customers. With the certification, I have learned how to create and manage Azure DevOps projects, build and release pipelines, and implement continuous integration and deployment. This has helped me streamline the development process and ensure a smooth transition from development to production. Finally, with the Azure Solutions Architect certification, I have developed a deep understanding of how to design and implement solutions on Azure. This has been crucial in helping me provide my clients with the best solutions for their business needs, including designing highly available and scalable applications, implementing security and governance, and most especially optimizing cost. Through this journey, I experienced a dip in performance that is common with the J-curve theory, but I persisted and eventually exceeded my initial level of achievement. So you must be wondering, how did I pave my path? Now, how did I make it to where I am today? Was it all me or was it something else? The truth is, I couldn't have done it alone. I had an entire village as my anchor. They were guiding me through every step of the way. But before I could even start, I had to take a long, hard look at myself. Who am I really? What am I passionate about? What am I truly good at? And most importantly, what gives me the unbeatable sense of credibility? It wasn't easy, but with my village by my side and a deep understanding of myself, I was able to pave my own path into the world of tech. Believe it or not, I owe my presence here today to the amazing Michelle Sanford, one of the hosts of today's event. She's not just my mentor, but also my biggest cheerleader. When I confessed to her about my fear of public speaking, she took me under her wing and has been backing me up ever since. Thanks to her unwavering support, I've had the chance to showcase my speaking skills in various platforms, including the Microsoft Student Accelerator, which she herself leads. And now I'm thrilled to be standing in front of you at the Microsoft Student APAC Summit. So with a clear vision in mind, I put pen to paper and crafted a career development plan that would take me to new heights. This plan wasn't just any ordinary plan. It incorporated my personal brand, strengths and weaknesses, and a smart framework to map out my goals. And of course, no plan is complete without a solid network of mentors and advisors, my very own board of directors to guide me along the way. So now, who am I? I am an app innovation specialist within the public sector education, and I live and breathe with my mission to empower educators and students to achieve more with Microsoft Cloud. And with my career development plan and board of directors, I'm confidently driving innovation with low-code, no-code solutions, scaling up with cloud-native apps, and modernizing enterprise apps guided by our principles of customer obsession, regional scaling, growth mindset, digital first, and optimization through simplification. So, what does a day in the life of a specialist look like? As an app innovation specialist, my day starts with continuous market and industry research to stay on top of what is happening in the education space, both regionally and globally. Customer research to ensure I am coming to meetings with an understanding of what matters most to our customers. This includes reviewing their official websites, annual reports, initiatives, compliance requirements, stakeholder profile, and a lot more. In addition, I must also stay up to date on technology updates related to the technology stack that I am accountable for. These preparations are key to my success in providing valuable perspectives and points of view on how our customers can achieve their goals with confidence. My workday normally revolves around one crucial element: meeting with our customers. I dedicate the bulk of my time to actively listen to their objectives, strategies, challenges, and pain points. Armed with this knowledge, I collaborate with internal teams and Microsoft partners to ideate and create the best plan to meet their needs. From formal presentations to whiteboarding sessions, proof of concept demos, and learning sessions, I work with a variety of Microsoft resources such as cloud solution architects, global black belt, product managers, and Microsoft partners. The goal is to provide a comprehensive and effective solution to our valued customers. And there are some key ingredients that make all the difference: a growth mindset, stakeholder management, situational fluency, insightful listening, and above all, team collaboration. And speaking of staying up to date in the latest tech, as we look to the future of programming, one thing is certain: AI will continue to revolutionize the way we write code. And with GitHub Copilot, we're already seeing the power of generative AI in action. So GitHub Copilot is our AI-powered pair programmer that uses machine learning to assist developers in writing code. It was developed by OpenAI and GitHub. So GitHub Copilot is powered by our OpenAI Codex, which is a new AI system created by OpenAI that is specifically designed to understand and generate code. And here's how it works. OpenAI Codex is a language model that has been trained on a massive amount of code from various programming languages and frameworks. It uses machine learning algorithms to understand the structure and semantics of code and can generate new code based on the context and requirements of the task. GitHub Copilot then is a service that runs on top of an OpenAI codex. And it provides an interface for developers to interact with the AI-powered code generation capabilities. It is integrated directly into your code editor and can suggest code snippets and functions based on the code that the developer is currently working on. So this essentially is available as an extension in your favorite IDE, whether it might be Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, NewVim, and the family of JetBrains. So essentially, GitHub Copilot helps our developers to code faster, focusing on solving bigger problems, staying in the flow, and feeling more fulfilled with the work that you're doing. And I wanted to quickly showcase some of the capabilities available in the GitHub Copilot. So GitHub Copilot uses natural language processing to understand the context of your code. It uses machine learning models to generate those code suggestions based on the context and your programming language. So in here, you can see that the context that you provide will synthesize the code to match it. And then it also allows you to convert comments to your code. So you can describe the logic you want in natural language, and you can let Copilot assemble the code for you. It also autofill for repetitive code, so you can quickly produce boilerplate and fill in repetitive code patterns. And lastly, it provides you alternatives, so you can see a list of solutions that you can use and edit it to meet your needs. So with the power of generative AI at our fingertips, the possibilities for the future of programming are endless. So I highly encourage you to try out our GitHub Copilot and visit GitHub Copilot on your web browser to register and to install it directly to your IDEs. So make sure to also join us for more exciting sessions in the Microsoft Reactor. You can head over to aka.ms/reactor to get started and explore the world of possibilities. We also have several ongoing activities right now for you to leverage. So you can register for Imagine Cup, where student developer top teams compete to advance to the World Championship this March. And you can also deep dive into the world of cloud computing by signing up for Azure for Students and get access to free resources that can help you become Microsoft certified. And with that in mind, thank you all so much for listening into my quick presentation on my career story. Back to you, Michelle and Lydia.
Oh, that was so good, Nick Nat. Always really comprehensive in your presentations. I love that. We're running a couple of questions. I want to know, what do you have to say to the students about a career in app dev? Do you recommend it? Do you feel it's something that's impactful? What do you think about a career in app dev?
Personally, for me, I think the career in app dev is truly fulfilling. Essentially, as an app innovation specialist for public sector education, I can see the impact directly to the student community. So whether we're creating low-code, no-code application in order to help with students in terms of assignment extensions or digitalizing your ID, it does create that higher impact in terms of how businesses run the organization. So for example, as a student, normally when we would like to apply for a leave of absence, we would have to send an email to our professors with our doctor certificate. And usually it takes time to get approval and whatnot. But with as an app dev specialist, you can streamline this process. And so I think it depends on how you foresee where you're headed in your career path. I personally enjoy application development just because I can create those innovative solutions. And I know that when I visit universities like Australian National University, I know that the application available on their public-facing website is something that I worked on together with that organization. So hopefully that provides some insight to it, Michelle.
Yes, indeed. Lydia, there's a good question in the comments from Renee. Do you see that?
Yeah, what are the key tools or programming language that you are normally use during your day? Or to learn and if you want to career in the app dev?
I guess because I started off my degree in mechatronics engineering, where we primarily learned C and C++, I was a little bit more confident to start off my app dev journey by learning C sharp. So I guess if you're new to the coding world, I would recommend to start off with one programming language that you feel as though is essential to the line of work that you're and the line of industry that you're planning to pursue. And you can do some internal research around, what are the organizations primary programming language that they use. Some may leverage Java, some may leverage Python, and you also have to consider whether you're going to be a front end developer, a back end developer, a full stack developer. So all these considerations, put that in mind, and then select what language would work best for you. Start small, and then as you get comfortable with the programming language, start exploring other programming languages available. Now, one thing I would recommend in terms of the tooling is that within GitHub Copilot, there's a companion extension that's available called GitHub Copilot Labs. And essentially, as you code using Copilot, you can highlight the actual code from your IDE, and in another area of your IDE, you can actually convert that to another programming language. So, for example, if you coded it in Java, you can convert it directly to Python, and that just essentially helps speed up your learning curve.
Okay, thank you,
It's
Nico.
really cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It has been really great to have you with us today. We really
Thank you so much.
appreciate it. I do want to say to everyone, thank you. I do want to say to everyone that the next Mentee poll is open, so you can already start answering those questions while we are playing the next video. In this video, you'll see how the latest technology is changing the way we develop, and we'll be taking a look at Copilot and how it helps developers to make coding faster and easier than ever.
Did you know you can create and deploy your own website for free? Even if you're new to HTML and CSS, you can go from idea to code to live site in minutes using VS Code, Copilot, and Azure. Abriel, I have my GitHub and Azure accounts, and you know I love coffee. Where do we start?
So this is our HTML file, and here is also our CSS file, and here is how it actually looks like right now. So what we are going to do is to ask Copilot to help us to include Bootstrap and UIKit. I'll return and ask Copilot with more help in other things. So here are the other things that Copilot helped me to do here on the HTML file, and also here on the CSS file. So let's deploy it. Right after we submit our changes to GitHub and downloaded the extension of Azure and Azure Static Web Apps, we have to sign in with our Azure for Students account. So after that, we create the Azure Static Web Apps with this name. We select the region. I'll select custom. I'll leave it like this, and I'll change it to this. And so we will wait a few minutes just to confirm that everything is created. We click on Azure for Students, Static Web Apps, browse our website, and here is the final result. Try GitHub Copilot now and take your coding game to the next level. Sign up for our Cloud Skills Challenge and attend follow-up sessions at the Reactor to learn more.
Awesome. So now we are looking at the results of the Mentee poll. So if you haven't already submitted your answers to the questions, have a go now. What was your biggest takeaway from this career story about application development and developer tools? Oops. Oh, there we go. Here's little stories coming up.
Yes. Yeah, I like one of the comments that you say GitHub Copilot can help us to code more easy. I totally agree with that because my recent project, I use Copilot to help me like really reduce a lot of time.
Oh, there we go. I think I am seeing a lot of network issues, so it's kind of breaking up for me a bit. What topic related to app dev and dev tools are you most excited to learn more about? I don't know if anyone has noticed on the internets today, but GitHub has made some announcements overnight, and there are a whole bunch of early wait list release. Signed up for about 5 or 6 things this morning.
Yeah, we can see that most of people they are want to know about using OpenAI APIs.
Oh.
Yeah, they are very excited for it. Is it because of ChatGPT?
I tried. George and I are, and speaking of George, hello to our next speaker. So, George Coley.
Hi, Josh. I think Michelle's is dropped.
Yeah, she seems to be having some network connection issues.
Yeah, so let me give a brief introduction about you. Or you want to introduce yourself?
I'm happy to introduce myself if you like.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thanks. Hi, everyone. My name's George Coldham. I work for Microsoft Australia, and I'm based in Perth. I'm a cloud solution architect in the cybersecurity space. I've been asked to speak today about the data AI and machine learning track, though, so I have lots to say.
Oh, nice. Oh, yes, Michelle is back.
Sorry about that, everyone. Hello, George. Do you hear me?
Yeah, just I know that you are
Do you
working
see
in
me?
cybersecurity with a focus on data and AI. Yeah, sure. I can see you.
You're it's a little bit laggy though.
A little bit laggy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe maybe Lydia, you go ahead and ask the questions to George.
Yeah, sure. So, Josh, I know that you work in the cybersecurity with a focus on data and AI. So, what is that all about?
So a lot of the products that Microsoft uses for cybersecurity leverages machine learning heavily in order to help the customers have a secure and safe environment. So my role is one where I help our customers get the most value from using their products, and I train them in how to use them. Our security products are called the Defender products, and in the Defender products, they really leverage the machine learning to help, especially help the security analysts in identifying when there's something suspicious happening in the environment, and give some guidance around how to resolve these issues. I guess like in terms of big data, each computer generates quite a lot of logging, and those logs get forwarded into a cloud analytics workspace, and then that workspace uses many different machine learning models over that data to identify suspicious sequences of events. And then it also has the ability to look at correlating events across multiple devices across the whole environment. So there's a lot of machine learning and big data going on in that background. Yeah.
Well, that sounds very interesting. So may I know that, like, what kind of magic moments that do you have in your line of work?
So the first one that comes to mind and is, there's a thing called a user directory, and that has all of an organization's users' accounts. And I remember installing a security product it's basically an analytics tool, and it was monitoring the behavior on the domain controllers. And we started the deployment, and the analytics observing the logs identified the customer being attacked, and we saw that their Active Directory database was copied out. So that was visibility they previously didn't have. A human, it's too hard for a human to sit there and monitor every single activity across every device in an environment. So the machine learning was able to detect and then alert. And, that was like the first aha. But what I'm really excited about, and it might be answering questions a bit ahead, is the potential of the GPT models, especially ChatGPT. There's a real skill shortage in our area, and there might not be enthusiasm shortage, but there's absolutely skill shortage, right? So to get someone into a security role, there's quite a lot of learning that must be done beforehand, especially if they're doing some security operations analyst type works. But with ChatGPT, all of a sudden that can be streamlined quite a lot, because you can have your own personal tutor, and you can ask questions and feed information and get, really intelligent advice back. So that will accelerate that learning. And that's only possible because there's so much data that's been there to be used to be training that, and whether or not it's relevant. Further to that, you can, create a custom model and upload your organization's data sets into your own private instance with the GPT deployment, and have it start learning what is normal for your environment. So you can ask questions like, should this person be connecting to this? And it will be able to have a look over a period of time and tell you, oh, well, this person logs in every 2 weeks at this time, so it's probably normal. So you'd be able to really accelerate using GPT to do that analysis over that large set of data. So there's so much potential there. And that's if you're a good guy. I mean, if you're a bad guy, there's so many potential ways that you could get an assist, but I don't really want to talk about that right now.
I am a bad. No comments.
Yeah, so beside that, I also kind of curious, like, what does the future of data and AI looks like? Like, what is its relevancy and how it will impact like various industry? How will it change the world? And what should our audience care about this line of work?
Wow, such a big question.
Yeah.
No, I love big questions. I'm just trying to be succinct. So, as we've seen, ChatGPT, for instance, was only released towards the end of last year, and we're already at the version 4. So version 3, and then 3 months later, version 4 has come out, and the actual development time with 1 and 2 was quite long, and they're able to accelerate the learning time in a compounded fashion because they can actually use the learning in the model to help it learn itself to improve. So I think that the rate of improvement in artificial intelligence is only going to accelerate. So that's really exciting. If artificial intelligence can support people by, we saw in that example, you don't need to have that technical specific knowledge to be able to develop a web page, because you can ask Copilot to help you with, the right code to import a library or something similar. You can also ask it to be creative for you as long as you're quite good with writing the prompt. So I think one of the real skill sets in the future is being able to interact with an AI and get it to do what you intend it to do. It's because you can always ask it to do something, but if you don't ask it the correct way, it may not do what you intended it. So that would be like a really important skill. I think another interesting skill, which I don't know if we will develop or even need to, is potentially the ability to understand whether content has been generated by an AI or whether it's been generated by a human. I don't know how important that would be, but I feel that socially there'll be people who would feel a little betrayed or misled if they weren't talking to a human. Like with a lot of the services that we have, we can absolutely get that text to speech and speech to text, and we can have text generation, right? So we could probably get quite a compelling fake human, at least on the phone, and that's been around for a little while, and that scares people. And the tools to do that are becoming more readily available. So it's just that realness, and whether or not people care will be an interesting social thing as a result of it. But I kind of like the idea that everything will become easier because we can leverage technology for it. I'm really excited that I can potentially have my own personal general purpose AI somewhere in the future, so that it can learn me and manage me. That would probably be really helpful. Make sure I go to the gym, don't snack too much, and all of those things that I should be doing. And I really think that will come quite soon. Maybe Siri will become useful.
You think you would be more obedient to the AI than you are yourself?
It's just a reminder. I'd be able to train the AI to use the words that would be the correct ones that would make me do what I need to do.
Because the AI would really listen to you, unlike the humans in your life.
That's right.
Cool. Just a reminder to everyone, put your questions in the chat for George if you have anything there for him. In the meantime, George, what does a day in the life look like to you? What does your job look like?
Well, I'm doing my job now. So, living the dream. I get to talk to people and help people all day. Occasionally, it'll be a lot more structured, and I'll do delivery using pre-written content. And that's good because it's very focused. And other times I get to go and help people with obscure problems that they can't really even articulate. So I need to sit down and talk to them to understand their environment and the problems that they're facing. And a lot of the time I'll go in and they think they know what the answer is, but they just want validation. So I get to listen to that and do that. It's a very human job, even though it's a very technical job. So it's got the best of both worlds. It really appeals to me. And I get to play with cool toys.
So Nico has Cool. And Nico has a good question for you there. Do you see it? How did you start your career in cloud security?
Yeah, that's a great question, because my pathway is not the standard pathway, go to university and then get a graduate program and whatnot. I mean, I did all that, but I was teaching at a college for a long time, and teaching on-premises technologies only. And I was getting towards middle age, and I thought I need to work out what I want to do when I grow up. So I started looking around, and I spoke with a friend who worked at a Microsoft partner, and she convinced them to give me a chance. So I had a really good base in on-premises technologies and network and security fundamentals, but not necessarily any knowledge in cloud. From there, I started doing projects with the Microsoft partner, and I also accelerated that by doing Microsoft certifications, because for me to learn, having a framework is really useful. I learned by doing, but I also learned by reading. So I was able to use the learning that I did in the projects I was doing and reinforce it. And I basically started off with the Azure Administrator, and then I went through and got every Microsoft security certificate they had, and then they released more. So I got all of those as well. And yeah, basically I just make sure I stay current by continually learning. But I got my start in cloud security by being really proactive, telling them I wanted to do security projects and backing it up by showing them I got the learning and the certifications.
Thank you, Josh. We also got another question from CC is asking about do you believe that the future of GPT will take over cybersecurity jobs, or do you believe it will be used mostly as a tool for good?
Wow, that's a great question. I think the real power of GPT is currently, without an AI sidekick for cybersecurity, we can only look at stuff that we know about when it happens, right? So a really good security analyst is great because they've got a lot of experience, so that they're able to leverage what they've done before and apply it moving forward. But you can only learn so fast, and you can only look at so many things. Having GPT AI sort of sitting beside you, they can consume that information so much faster than a human can. And you can also scale that learning. Like Microsoft machine learning already learns from every single customer across the world. So when something happens in one place, like in Brazil, then a customer in Sydney will get that benefit immediately, and the GPT models will have that same thing. So all of a sudden, the criminals won't have as many open gaps like they would, because GPT will help us close it really quickly. So it won't take it over, but it'll definitely help.
Great insights, George. Do you have one final tip to leave the students with before you go on your way?
Every job in IT is a service-based job. So if you haven't gone and done a job where you do customer service, go get it. If you can't talk to people, then you can't do your
Awesome.
job well.
Well, thanks for joining us, George. Yeah. Menti is now open for your favorite takeaways from this. George will perhaps go into the chat and try and answer some of those extra questions that he didn't get to. And the rest of us probably will as well. So keep asking your questions even if we don't get to them. And while we have opened Menti for that, we will start playing the next video. So this is, let's hear what you can do with Microsoft in data science, AI, and machine learning space. And you will see an awesome demo of what can be created with Azure OpenAI Service.
The world of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science is growing quickly, and Microsoft is empowering each and every person to be involved. No man left behind, right? For example, using Azure Cognitive Services, you have access to different AI capabilities such as image recognition, text translation, speech to text, and all this without writing a single line of code. In comes Azure OpenAI service, which makes it more interesting through the power of generative AI, where you can now address deeper challenges such as language barriers. Let me show you a virtual assistant chatbot built with Azure OpenAI services and Azure Speech Services. The bot understands various languages and replies to prompts. For example, what is the weather in Nairobi? Now, once you click the AI, it will give us a response and also say it out loud.
The current weather in Nairobi is partly cloudy with a temperature of 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
The greatest thing about this demo is you can actually say out loud what you want and it will reply back to you. So let's test it in a different language. Hali ya hewa jijini Nairobi EVP wakati huu. And then it will, once I click on the AI, it will give me a response.
Hali ya hewa jijini Nairobi sasa ni nyepesi na kiwango cha hewa ni 24 nyuzi Celsiasi 75.
How exciting was that? This project was built by Cyrus Wong, an educator from Hong Kong, to help understand and answer whole students' questions regardless of their local languages. What challenges are there in your communities that you can tackle with AI? To learn more about the different AI capabilities, join us for our live reactor sessions and the Cloud Skills Challenge.
That's awesome. Let's have a quick look at the mentee quiz.
What was your biggest takeaway?
And so that was, what was your biggest takeaway?
About AI, machine learning, and data science.
Oh. So they're just going to do a few more seconds before they reveal the answer. Don't know, what was your biggest takeaway, Lydia?
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is like how AI can be implemented in the cybersecurity area. I only know like just a little bit about it, but since Josh talking about this, I was like, I gained a lot of new knowledge about this area. I never thought that AI can be implemented in the security area, like checking or the usage or what.
Yeah, you always hear about it in the bad sense of all the, all the bots that are taking over the world using AI and using it to hack into people's security perimeters. But you don't hear about how it can be used for defending against all of that stuff. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I want to become the next George. We all do.
Yeah, I like that one. One day AI will be very advanced and maybe will take over the world. So it means that we need to be try to work hard and then try to be smart than AI. So we are creator of the AI. We are not AI take control of us.
Yeah, I think we need to be good people showing the AI how to be good, how to be responsible, how to be ethical. Because if the movies are to be believed, when the AI rises up, it will look at all of us and it will say that humanity is the greatest threat to this planet, and it will be best to get rid of us if it wants to save the planet, unless we can convince it that we are worth saving. So yeah, I think we need to be try harder to be good people, to be kind, and to do good things to save the planet, then the AI will help us.
Yes, I agree with that. So, what topic related to AI, machine learning, data science are you most excited to learn about? Yeah, for now you can see that writing machine learning code is like more people like concerned about it. Yes, me also. I also concerned about it, like how to write. I only know how to write the standard, but how to fine tune the model is a bigger challenge for me.
Yeah, I think, the models can get better and better with more data, but the more data you use, the more open to bias you are. And also, the more data you use, the more expensive it is, the more time consuming it is. So there's a lot of things that need to be taken into consideration when you're thinking about machine learning and data science. But for me, the things I find funnest
I
to
agree
do
with
with cognitive services. I like those. Computer vision. Yeah, I like computer vision. Why does no one pick that? That one's so
Yes, I also
easy.
like computation. I like in the healthcare area.
Yeah. So let's go to our next speaker. So as Microsoft's Asia leader for digital native startups, cloud, and AI business strategy, Pratima spearheads the work Microsoft does to empower customers, partners, governments, digital native startups, and citizens to digitally transform their businesses, and lives with the power of Microsoft Cloud and AI. In this role, she is responsible for building the strategic plans and programs to grow Microsoft's business, leveraging the world's largest, most trusted cloud infrastructure network. Welcome, Pratima.
Hey, thank you. Can you hear me well? Sound check.
Yes, can hear you.
Good to go. Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Pratima Munkar. I lead Asia Digital Natives, Startups, and Cloud and AI Strategy. And to be truly inclusive, here's a visual descriptor of myself. I'm an Indian woman with straight black hair, wearing a red top and long gold and diamond earrings. So why are we here today? And folks, this part of the segment of the summit is going to be a little different, because I know that all of us here, all of you are looking to build a career. I also saw at the start that there are some who are looking to switch and enhance their careers. See, the thing about low code, no code, or fusion development is that it's not really a career path. It's not a job that you can apply for. I cannot say that my career has been low code, no code. It's really about an approach, it's about an ethos, it's like a methodology. And it's backed by a set of tools which can help transform your businesses and lives. At the same time, I also think it's applicable to everyone. All of us can hear about this and learn about low code, no code, and you could well be using these principles anytime in your life. So the next 10 to 15 minutes, I just want to open your eyes, trigger thought, and help you understand what this space is all about. Next slide, please. I need help with the slides. So, yeah. Yes. So, as I said, just now, that low code empowers everybody, every person to go faster. I don't think it's just about developers. All of us can think about low code, no code, and move ahead. So when I go to the next slide now, I'll explain to you what this is all about. Why is it coming up, and why it's a topic of conversation these days. I do a lot of work talking to our companies, to our largest enterprises, as you can see from my introduction, I also work with startups and digital natives. So the entire range of companies, no matter what their size, are embracing change. They are leveraging these modern solutions to actually combat the effects of the pandemic. And technical transformation has been very slow for many people. And the reason why is because building every solution from scratch is very difficult with the kind of changes that are happening today. You heard from our sessions up to now, the current momentum of change is breathtaking, folks. And the reason why most industries are not able to change at that rate is because there is one, tech talent limitations. There is a real tech world talent shortage. Statistics show that 86% of organizations struggle to find tech talent, and especially because the demand for mobile applications is growing. So it becomes really, really tough for many people. And then also understand that, see, when you're talking about companies doing ground up development, it takes time. And it's not just the time for building the software, but also the opportunity cost for putting the tech talent that you have, which is already scarce, onto huge amounts of software development from scratch. So there is this entire thing that companies have to think through when they plan their next digital transformation. And then there is all the stuff about digital demand. You also heard just now from George about the kind of security and compliance risks that can happen. So all of this means something. If I move to the next slide, it'll really encapsulate what this actually means in terms of the challenge. Hear me on this. Over the next 3 years, more than 500 million digital apps and services will be created, developed, and deployed. Just this is a mind-blowing number. And clearly, traditional code-first dev will not be able to scale to support this growing demand. And this is where low-code development tools like Power Apps come into play. What is Power Apps? If you go to the next slide, Power Apps plus Azure provides a deeply integrated low-code and pro dev application development that allows organizations to meet demand faster and reduce costs by leveraging existing investments in Power Apps and Azure, and also reduce the dev cost itself by making it so easy across the entire organization. And on the next slide, you will see, therefore, why it is so easy. Could you move to the next slide, please? Yes, I see this. App dev and development has never been easier. With Power Apps and Azure, you can build and deploy across, platforms with clicks. Maybe I can share with you a real example. So we were working with an interesting manufacturing company that grew exponentially, hired many new staff. They also rented new office space. So what they did was they consolidated. They brought people from different offices, 6 different offices, to one location. So this company moved to a multi-story building, and they had many conference rooms, and they were able to use Microsoft Outlook to book those conference rooms. But they also had smaller meeting rooms, and the interesting problem they faced was how to book these smaller meeting rooms. You will not believe, folks, they used to do things like people used to go into each meeting room and put a small note or a post-it there, which said that, look, I'm booking this meeting room for this, at this point of time. So after struggling for some time, this is such a funny story, actually. All that they did was that they decided to build a very simple app. Somebody just picked it up and said, let me learn about Power Apps, and picked it up and managed to build this app in a matter of 1 day. Of course, it was integrated into a larger collaboration project. But I hope this gives you an idea about what kind of applications can really result in the kind of changes that you might need, and how you could actually look at larger projects which will help you along the way. Meeting business demand faster with the front end and business process development is what this slide is all about. So really that encapsulates, and it's an example of how you can rapidly create web and mobile front ends very quickly And how you go about it is using drag and drop visual designer and so on, where no environment setup is required. You can you can leverage pre-built UX components, for example. You can look at existing material that you have, very rapidly use that to be able to create and accelerate the delivery of your business processes. So that's really what low-code development front ends look like. Most interestingly, if I go to the next slide, it's all about reusability. This is where the secret sauce comes in. By that, what I mean is that you have these reusable components to develop your applications. Those components might have been created by somebody else or by yourself. App devs can pick up these UX components and easily add capabilities. You just heard, some of you said, I want to be the next George. I loved that. That's definitely possible. And, it's something that we can all aspire to, every one of us, because, of course, George's knowledge is much on a higher level, but you can start creating apps using AI capabilities is what I want to express here. App devs can look at creating apps, and you don't need ML expertise for that. You could use low-code, point-and-click Power Apps, AI Builder experience to build and train models, and those models can also exist here, and you can just use them, reuse them. You could be an app dev who works, or a person who works regularly with GitHub, so users can collaborate there, share knowledge, create secure workflows, and then you bring everything together into a reusable application which you can easily deploy. And this is powerful. The next slide tells you what is the biggest benefit that you get out of all of this, apart from actually building those components itself and the solutions itself. What you do is get 74% reduction in app dev costs. And I'm very heartened by a very nice example which I very minimally worked with. One of the jobs that I also do is work closely with the assistive tech that we work with. So accessibility and working with people with disabilities, and particularly looking at how we can use assistive tech for this. So one great example was the work done by UK-based nonprofit, which is called Leonard Cheshire, which provides care and support for people with disabilities around the world. And as you can imagine, NPOs are not going to spend, nonprofit organizations are not going to spend a whole bunch of time and effort in developing apps, or bringing together platforms for their operations. But they needed it. They wanted to, and they are in the process of building out a complete cohesive platform for modernizing and streamlining all their operations across the world, because it's a global company. And that new foundation is bringing the entire digital world together for the organization. It is a complex project. There are many parts of it which are much deeper, but it's all founded on a blend of Dynamics 365 apps and Microsoft Power Platform. And that is creating a wave of ecosystem apps which are greater than the each disparate parts, right? So they're bringing together a platform using this. And again, I bring all these examples to you to tell you how it can be applied in any kind of industry, in any kind of work arena. And what about security? If you go to the next slide, please. Azure is one of the most secure cloud platforms, as you all know. So it definitely needs a cloud platform base. And along with Power Apps and Azure, you can get all the industry-leading streamlined security that you aspire to. So when I go to the next slide, I just want to again tell you that folks, drive innovation. Each of us on this call have the ability to be able to be that empowered driver of velocity. And what does that mean actually is that higher revenue growth, higher return to shareholders, higher operating margins, and increased velocity where the developer ecosystem itself is concerned. So I hope that inspires you as we talk. And if I go to the next slide, I want to bring again another great example, which I think I draw a lot of inspiration from myself in my own mind. And if you want to, you can hear more. There is a video on YouTube as well as on our Microsoft site. It's the story of a person called Samit Saini, who is currently now an IT solution specialist at Heathrow Airport. So when you're searching, look for Heathrow Airport customer story in Microsoft. He started off working at airport security. So what happened was that he got a new email, and his business manager asked him to explore Office 365 and provide some feedback, etc. So that night when he went home, he put his children to bed, and then he started exploring Office, so Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and so on. And then he stumbled upon Power Apps. And he thought, let me just get started, let me just learn. And that very night, he built his very first small test app. And he was like enthused by this wonderful accomplishment. He felt really excited, smart. So he wanted to know how he could use that in his current job and make it better. So one of the things that all the people at security apparently have is that there is a language book, which is a physical book, which has got all the passenger-facing rules in different languages, translated in different languages, so the security can speak and or at least point to it and show it to folks. So what he did was that he built his first mobile-based app, which was this language book app, and it had all the airport fare rules regarding what could and could not be brought on board the plane, translated into numerous languages. And he took 1 week, folks, to do this. It was just 1 week, and it was so useful. It was adopted by many across Heathrow. So he made this like a rallying cry of self-empowerment, and his own motivation was that. And he then moved ahead, and one after the other, employees across departments came to him and talked to him about different app ideas. And now currently it's become like something like a movement, and now he's become an IT solution specialist. And this is a great example of somebody who just picked it up and used it in whatever was their current role and whatever was their current movement. So if you go to the next slide, what I really want to bring home again is that there is effortless integration and extensibility for your applications. And the way that you could go forward also is through GitHub, which is what this next slide is all about. GitHub, as you know, has got a repository if you could please go to the next slide. GitHub has a repository of various code snippets which you can use, as I said, and again, it provides the extensibility that you seek. So to summarize, if I go to the next slide, this gives you an idea of how Power Apps can reduce the developer costs. And the final slide in this part of what I'm speaking, if you go to that one, please, is all about how we can, why the low-code, no-code solution is important. Could you just please go to the next slide? Yes, and this is really a summary of why, as I said, it is really something that all of us should think about, and think about how you could actually make this a part of your ethos. So now it comes the next step. The maturity of this is the next step. So if you go to the next slide, please. This is about, now I want to introduce a new topic to your minds about fusion development. Fusion development really is, it's a term. It's again, it's not really a methodology. It's more like an approach that encourages and supports strategic, rapid software development. And who can do this? just go to the next slide, please, and I'll tell you exactly what this is. And I know this is a very intense slide. There's lots of small words here. But what I want to get to you here is that there are multiple personas in this. And it could be the citizen developer. Every one of us can be a citizen developer. It could be some of us who are the pro devs in this, which is the full stack developer, and could be IT professional. These are the three big personas in this. And the next slide here will give you an idea about all the industries that can be used, can get into this. But how we view fusion development is really, it is the fundamental now going forward of what is going to be the how teams actually operate and communicate. Could you just forward to, I know we are running a little late behind schedule, so maybe you could forward to the next slide, please. Yeah, and again, reiteration of the demand for apps and how it grows. The number of devs are not keeping up, which continues. Next slide, please. Yes, I'd like to just take 1 minute on this to give you an idea now about the kind of personas. As I said, if I bring it all down to one single slide, this is a good depiction. So you have citizen developers where you could fit in, as I said, IT pros and pro devs. All their efforts combined together makes up the entire methodology of fusion development. And next slide will tell you how different industries can actually use your abilities in this space. So folks, I know this has been a lot of slides that you have seen, but I'll be happy to share this with you and take your questions. Maybe if I just go to the next slide to let you know a little bit about my own career journey. As I said earlier, it's not like you can actually say that there is a career path for a person as a low-code developer or any such thing. It's just that I just want to bring the point to all of us that we all have a place in a fusion development environment in the future, whether as a citizen developer or as an IT pro or as a dev itself. My background has been, fairly across the place. I'm in IT for 25 plus years, which is why you see so many things like COBOL and Fortran, which I'm sure most folks on this don't know about. But what I'd like to really bring to everybody here on this is something simple, which will a leadership principle, which I think, 3 fundamentals, is that one, remember that we are on a path of continuous learning, and find your purpose, which is also a passion, and that helps you along the way. And also definitely keep in mind, as I said, all of us can contribute to the digital technical innovations that are happening around us. We're all part of the journey, and this is an exciting journey for everybody. So to help keep that excitement up, I'd like to share some resources that could help you get started. So the next 2 slides are about these resources. Again, I guess, a lot of material on different sites. Do think about how you could join some of our webinars, and the final slide that we have on this. Next slide, please. Will tell you what my recommendations will be. So I'll stop here and over to you, Michelle, if there are any questions.
Yeah.
Lydia? Yeah.
We do have to be really quick because, yes, we're supposed to finish in a minute. But we can't let you go without asking a couple of questions. Lydia, did you have one you wanted to ask?
Yeah, we have one question from Nessa. Is asking about, like, what do you think the effect of low-code or no-code dev to those who are unfamiliar with tech?
Yeah, absolutely. Which is what, exactly what I wanted to bring with the stories that I brought out just now. The fact that you have this option of being able to reuse components that exist, look at even infusing AI into anything that you do. Very, very simple. It's very simple to get started. I'm not saying that it is completely, you can be completely blank about it. That's not the idea. You need to have some amount of excitement and understanding to be able to pick up the very basics, but absolutely easy to do, reusable components, the kind of environment that you have up a dev environment. You just need to go to Power Apps and pick up things that exist and build your app. The story that I told you about the person who was a security officer in Heathrow, I think that is super inspiring, right? That tells you that within one night, he learned how to create his first app, and then within a week, he created an app which helped hundreds of his colleagues in the airport. So MISA, definitely possible. Citizen developers, definitely, you can definitely do stuff with this.
And just one more quick one from me. Do you think that the low-code, no-code development will replace the professional developer over time, or do you think it's a different use case?
No, I believe strongly, and we believe strongly, that fusion development is the path for larger organizations as we go forward. So with fusion, what you have is you have the professional developer who will be required for larger, more complex. But the citizen developer will work with things which are, a lot less complex. If you're talking about a very huge turnkey project for a massive enterprise, you will need an IT professional, you will need a full stack developer, a professional developer, and the low code devs who will look at it. I started off by saying there are going to be 500 million apps, especially mobile apps, etc., coming up, right? Not all of them will be simple enough for us to be able to do with low code development. There would be some amount of complexity, especially if you're looking at large organization and enterprise apps. So there will be all three, actually, Michelle. It will be everybody together who will actually develop in a fusion development world.
That's very cool. Thank you so much for joining us today. That has been really, really wonderful. If you have time, do join the live stream and answer some questions in the chat, because there are a few more.
Thank you for
thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. We are going to go to another video, but perhaps we will start the Menti poll while that is playing. So let's see how you can combine and create automated solutions featuring open AI technology, all without writing a line of code. And open your Menti quizzes.
Now that you've learned about low-code development, let's explore something that you can do with Microsoft Power Platform with Power Automate and ChatGPT technology. It's a simple one, where students who are part of a community or club or professionals in a company receive a newsletter update weekly on the most trending technology topic, which could be AI, Power Platform, or .NET. A marketing team captures the week's topic to be included in the newsletter using an adaptive card. Then a Power Automate flow receives the input and uses ChatGPT 3 to extract the entities from the text. The extracted entities are sent to search tweets about the specific topic. Then ChatGPT 3 generates a newsletter using the top 10 returned tweets. An email is sent to students or developer groups with the newsletter to stay up to date with the latest changes from their respective technology. I chose this simple demo because I was playing with OpenAI and because at my previous workplace they were looking for ways to generate news about what's new and happening with Power Platform to catch up and not miss any features. You saw how cool it was to actually just build a solution using Power Platform with GPT technology. So if you want to learn more, you can actually complete the Cloud Skills Challenge we have for the Student Summit and join more of our follow-up sessions at the reactors.
Oh, that was amazing. I haven't seen that video before, and I want to learn how to do that. Okay, so we are nearly there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the end. maybe we can look at the mentee quiz. What was the
Yes.
biggest takeaway from this career story about low-code, no-code fusion? Yeah.
Yeah, everyone can build the apps. Yes, I agree with that.
Definitely, it accelerated the career of that security guard for sure. He's moving from security to being like head of an apps team after that.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool. Is there another question, or is that the one? Cool. What topic related to low-code, no-code fusion development are you most excited to learn about? Oh, I want to learn how to. I want to learn how to do what they just showed us in that video. That's what I'm most excited to learn.
Yeah, I can try that before. Actually, it's quite interesting. It's like I can done the face recognition app within like 30 minutes, and then I can just publish it for use.
Mm.
That's very amazing.
Creating dynamic web pages, power pages, that would be pretty cool, actually, because even though I know it's not that hard to generate web pages using like GitHub pages, I suspect it would be even easier with this. That'd be cool. Oh, yeah. I want to spend more time learning this stuff for sure.
Yes, I like the streamline the workflows. I think that one you really save time. Just put the things I want, and then it will automate everything.
Yeah. All right. Then let us finish the show indeed. So we have another mentee quiz, which is a summary of everything that you have enjoyed about today's summit. So it's, multiple stuff about everything that we've gone through today. So yes, have a go at filling that in now. Oh, there we go.
Yes. How much do you feel you have learned today about careers and tech in each of these areas?
No, it's pretty evenly
close.
spread.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. I think I definitely learned more about the low code, no code stuff because I haven't really had much time to play with that apart from I did the Power Apps, Power Platform Fundamentals certification. I learned a lot in that, but now I see there's so much more.
Yeah, for me, it's about the security side because I really learned in my degree just like touch and go only. Yeah, this one really give me a big insight.
Yeah, you don't think of it. Security is underlying everything and you never think of it. It's kind of like a background thing, but I think George really brought it to the foreground for us.
Yeah.
Most interested in learning about, well, yeah, everything, hey? Oh, look, nobody wants to know about developer tools. Let me tell you, GitHub and GitHub Copilot and all the 5 things that they have just brought out wait lists for overnight are going to be super exciting ways to code. So GitHub and Visual Studio Code are really exciting. We just haven't had a chance to showcase them today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but AI is fair because you develop stuff and then you integrate AI.
Yeah, to accelerate my studies or career, I'm excited too. So, Michelle, what is your choice for this?
I really like, you see it in the comments online as well, but I really love the Microsoft Learning apps. And as Renee has said several times in the chat, if you sign up for the Cloud Skills Challenges that have been specially customized for you all today, you will learn together, you will grow together, and they have been matched to the topics that we've been doing. So I'm definitely going to do those Cloud Skill Challenges after this, even though I've done a lot of content on Microsoft Learn. It's constantly being updated, and they already have the ChatGPT, the OpenAI, the DALL-E, all of that stuff is in the AI Fundamentals learning path already. So don't think that you're not going to get the most current stuff. You absolutely are. And what they have put in the Cloud Skills Challenges will guide you on the most direct route to get the best things.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. I think after this, I will go and learn.
Oh. Okay, what's your one word for Student Summit experience? That's a hard one. Excited is my word, I think.
Nice. Awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, very awesome.
Yeah, I don't know, blown away. I definitely saw new stuff that I hadn't seen before, and inspired, maybe.
Yeah, really pushing me to learn new things.
Yeah.
Before that, just in my waiting list, but now it's really go to my wish list.
Yeah. Yeah, she has to hide the words because she's looking for rude words to make sure that none of you have put any in, because if you do, she has to take those out before she reveals the word cloud. So yes, do not do that, because then it's just more work and it will never hit the screen because, code of conduct. Here we go. It's going to be disclosed any minute.
Yes, 5 seconds.
Okay, voting is closed. What's it look like?
Yes. Wow, insightful.
That's nice.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool. Thanks, everyone. That's really, really nice. Okay. So I think we are at the end of our show, and thank you so much for staying with us. We know that we are a little bit late and a little bit overrun, but I couldn't bear to kick any of the speakers off, and we couldn't stop talking either, could we, Lydia?
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining today's sections.
Yeah, and complete any surveys that come afterwards, and we hope to see you at future events. Bye, everyone.
Bye.